All right, we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nutmeg. Welcome back to tonight's Just Chatting stream. How's everyone doing? Hey, Banana, good to see you. How are you doing? Huh. And Koki is here. Hello, how are you? Why is multi-chat not coming up? Uh-oh. This might be an awkward stream where you guys can't... I promise I didn't do anything to my OBS or anything like that. How's everyone doing? Anyways, yeah. Yes, my bottle is green screened. It is a green bottle, so... Oh, it's because the bottle is green, that's why. And I have a green screen behind me, that's why. Transparent, that's why. It's just water, by the way. It's just a big giant green water bottle. Hell, even some of my shirt is being transparent. Hey guys, I don't know why multi-chat is not working. I promise I didn't do anything to my OBS or any of my settings. So I apologize. I don't know why, but yeah. Not only YouTube is not showing up, but Twitch doesn't even show up either. It says here Twitch chat is supposed to be on, yeah. So it's really just the website. Darn it. Technical difficulties. Yeah, I'm sorry, Koki. For everyone, I apologize. I don't know what happened. Yesterday, I don't know why. Maybe I was a little bit tired from my 13-hour shift or something. Or excuse me, not 13-hour shift. Stay for over 36 hours or something like that. But yeah, I don't know why. I guess multi-chat decided to do the same thing, you know? So I'm sorry. But tonight we're gonna go back to... It's not something... well, it's not something rare to happen. Yeah, I'm sorry. Rare, yeah, typo. I've tried. It is really just multi-chat. It's another website called bottricks.com, and then syncs up with OBS, and then OBS syncs up with Twitch and YouTube. So I don't know why. It really is not my setting, because I literally did not do anything to my settings at all. I turned my computer off and that was it. So sometimes it happens like that and sometimes it doesn't. So I was gonna play another FNAF tonight on the request of one of my viewers. What is it? Five Nights at Freddy's at real time. However, when I downloaded it, one is it is a demo, and two, I couldn't play it because apparently it says that I needed the Five Nights at Freddy on my PC. I don't have Five Nights at Freddy's on PC. It's actually on my PlayStation 5. I'm not gonna go buy it again just for that game, just for a quick demo. So it was not worth it to me. So my bad. The other thing is I subbed, but I did see a Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Reborn, and that one caught my eye because it was literally advertised right beside it. And I thought that looks interesting. It looks like not only a remade version of Five Nights at 3. Hey, thanks for the sub, Cat Zach. Five Nights in a real quick demo. Well, let me show you. Let me show you. What is it in real time? So here it is. I tried doing it, but it says demo right here. I don't see any other versions of it. So it's a demo, isn't it? And even if it is a demo, I don't really mind it as much. But when I did download it, it's only 408 megabytes. When I did try it, it says that I couldn't even launch it because it literally says I needed the Five Nights at version original on Steam, which I don't have. I have it on my PS5, and that's kind of a problem for me. I don't really want to buy Five Nights at Freddy's again. Even though I like the franchise, I'm not so sure. I'm a little bit on the broke side, even though I know y'all donated. I can't collect the money, by the way, until I reach $100. If you didn't know about YouTube monetization, you can't collect it. They won't send you the money until it's you reach $100, which I have not yet, even with ad revenues and stuff. So sorry about that, guys. No, don't send me $100 or anything like that. It's not worth it. Hey Nadia, welcome. How are you? I see your comment, but unfortunately, I don't know why, but multi-chat is not showing up, and unfortunately, your no one's chat is displaying, whether it be YouTube or Twitch. DC from time to time? Yeah, I will. I will. But I did see this one. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Reborn, and it was this one. It looked quite interesting, and usually when I see a Five Nights at Freddy that is like over 1 gigabyte, that means like, oh, that graphics are good and it's probably going to lead to a lot of gameplay. However, I've not. It even says it has new mechanics. The thing with FNAF 3 is that I actually never finished the original one, mainly because I found it too slow and I didn't like Springtrap's jump scare. It was very, very mediocre, to say it the best, and I wasn't exactly afraid of it. Now, the environment was scary. I admit that. It was like in some kind of greenish laboratory setting. But other than that, the jump scares were meh. I had a hard time finding where Springtrap is because of the video quality from the cameras, which, whether it's intended or not, it was not good for my eyes. So there's that. However, I did beat FNAF 3 on Help Wanted. Was it 1 or 2? I don't remember. I did beat that one, and that one's quite a breeze for me. I understood the mechanics and stuff. However, this one, I have no idea what it is, so I don't think it's a new game though. That said, just wait until next month when the 20th anniversary comes up. Outside the box animation. Hello, welcome, how are you? I see your chat, I see everyone else, but the problem is that unfortunately multi-chat is not working today. Even though I think everyone's chat is usually showing up right here on my top left of the screen. I don't know why, so I apologize. Want to know something I learned about FNAF 3? I originally thought that it was supposed to be the end of the story, where William Napton got stuck in the Springtrap and then got killed and burned everything to the ground. But then it actually happened in sister location. And then afterwards, he kept coming back, and the lore was just kind of throwing me off here and there. So yeah, that was pretty much it. But I do enjoy the newer. Out of all the FNAF that I played, including remakes and fan-made games, I must admit that the fan-made games have actually, I would say, made it a lot better, and it's a lot scarier and more interesting to play as of right now. It was those nights at Fredbear's, what is it, even the Roblox one, FNAF 2 Reimagined, all those ones are unbelievably good. And going back to the old style of looking left, right, closing the door, I don't know why, but maybe I just got a little bit used to it, and I'm a guy who's really easily scared by it. If you can't play FNAF Reborn, you should play Elden Ring one more time. If I could, I would, yeah, I would. It's just that I thought some people told me that, hey, enough Elden Ring. I've been streaming that game for like the past 4 or 5 days, and it's been taking a toll on me both mentally and physically because I stayed up and just kept playing. So if you're here for that, I don't mind. If you want me to play Elden Ring, I'd be more than happy to play Elden Ring. I feel like jump scares just doesn't work because of the Springtrap character. I agree. I don't think it has to do with the character. The environment was good, but it's just like the jump scare, one, you can kind of see it coming. Two, he doesn't really like jump in your face. He just walks up to you slowly, which I thought was just really kind of lame. William Afton isn't fooled by the sounds you play, but the suit is forcing him to check on the so-called children, which is just the sound that you play. I see. That makes more sense then. That makes sense. But either way, it was the mechanics of, the jump scare really comes from all the hallucinations that you experience. If I remember correctly, the night shift guy is basically Michael Afton, which out of all the characters that I learned, in FNAF, I would say Michael Afton is probably the most interesting characters. Obviously, I played FNAF 4 and I learned what he did to his little brother, and if that is his way of making it like owning up to his mistake, trying to redeem himself, then yeah, I'd say it worked. I would love to go back and play as Michael. That said, though, I really think that they're digging far too much into William Afton. It's time for a new antagonist. I get it. William Afton is bad. He hurts children. He's a murderer and a psychopath. But at the same time, he's been the main focus of being the antagonist for such a long time that I feel like it gets kind of dull. But that's just me. Like when they switched to Security Breach, I believe the one who did all that Pizzaplex, the whole Pizzaplex was William's wife. I was on board with that. I say, okay, maybe she became a psychopath, kind of like with Joker and Harley Quinn, right? Harley Quinn from Batman used to be a normal doctor who just got obsessed with the Joker, and thus she turned to the dark side. Michael Afton is a pretty good character. Oh yeah, I like Michael. I really, really did. When I first saw him, he was obviously pixelated, and he was kind of like bullying his little brother until the prank got a little too far. And then I realized that FNAF 4, you are actually playing as Michael, and that's when I realized, damn, he really is going through a lot of hell. Michael Afton does indeed do most of the security jobs, but a few times someone else is given the paycheck, meaning that he wasn't always the security guard. That's true. But then again, that wouldn't make much sense, right? Because if someone who does the graveyard shift and they survive one night, why in the world would they ever come back and do that job for, what is it, $25 a night? Unless they were just desperate. It made more sense that Michael was doing, because he was trying to hunt down his father and trying to redeem the Afton name. That I understood a lot. But not when it comes to just your average Joe Schmo kind of guy. So that's just me. I think they had a really good redemption arc. I agree. That's why when Michael, died that night when he burned everything down, I think that was a really good way of ending it all. So it would have been a really good way to end the original FNAF with the original Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and then all those kids' souls gets put to rest. Now, if they restarted the whole thing, because you know how you could still build animatronics out of nothing, and then someone discovers the children's soul going into animatronics, I'm all for it. If you give me another antagonist, or maybe Afton has a protege or something like that, all good. I can deal with that. I mean, they gave us Gregory from Security Breach, right? I still don't know what his story is. I still don't know Gregory though. Hey Shireen, welcome, first time chatter. I'm sorry about the chat not showing up. This is why I still haven't begun playing the game. If I play the game, I can't look at the chat as much as right now, because I have to focus on the game. However, I am just doing just chatting right now, and basically just trying to talk to you guys, trying to make up for technical difficulties right here of my chat, is because usually my chat just shows up on screen right here. I apologize. There's nothing I could do. It just happens with my multi-chat one or a couple of times a day, a couple of times a month, I would say. No worries, Banana. Feel free to watch me whatever you like. Anyways, I have no idea how this game is going to turn out. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Reborn by Arjun. As I was saying, that I've been really enjoying. Oh, there you are, Banana. At least we can say that everyone in the Afton family is gone. No, we cannot, because if Security Breach is the continuation, which it is, his wife is still alive. Last I checked, his wife is the one who helped rebuild the Afton Empire and built that big giant pizzaplex. So, and if she becomes the new bad guy, great, I don't have a problem. But then it keeps reverting to the fact that William Afton keeps coming back, and then the whole Vanny thing it was just kind of getting dragged out, in my opinion. That's just a theory with very little evidence. I don't know. I've watched Matt Pack's video I think they said it was William Afton's wife. I mean, who else, right? It only made sense if it is some. It has to be someone with Afton's name, or at least related to Afton. Because if I'm gonna start out, I don't know, Hannibal Lecter, right? Why would I? Why would anyone start a restaurant with Hannibal Lecter as, you know, that everyone, or in other words, if you're gonna start a new franchise, if you're gonna start a franchise, put all this money into pizzeria, why go with the Fazbear name when everyone already associated with the owner as a psychopath, as a children killer? Everyone already knows that. So to me, it didn't make any sense. Especially if you're a new owner. I was like, well, I just rename it something else. However, with the Fazbear name, if you are William Afton's descendant or wife, and you basically want to play that redemption arc, then yeah, that would make more sense to me. It was a bit of a stretch, maybe. But then again, I don't know where Gregory comes from. I have very little attachment to Gregory as a character. To me, he just seems like a kid off the street, a random kid, which is okay. But I really enjoyed Freddy, at least the new Freddy from Security Breach, because he helped us out. But yeah, people did tell me to play, go back to horror, especially Wolf, who's apparently not here today, asking me to play more horror games, which I don't mind. But I'm just saying that FNAF has really, and then not just FNAF, Poppy, Bendy, all these mascot horror, who I love, really made me, I wouldn't say numb, but I kind of got used to a lot of the jump scares, which I still like. As long as the story and the environment sets me in, I don't really mind it. Now for Elden Ring though, I don't think it's scary. It is hard. The only thing that's scary are just the bosses, because they kept kicking my ass. So last night, or excuse me, 2 nights ago, it was I got a bit of a scare. If you didn't know, I made a bet with y'all, with the chat, that if I could beat Moog, one of the later bosses, in 10 tries, no less. If I don't beat him in 10 tries, I would shave my head. Oh, I almost lost my my hair. This took about... I have not gotten a haircut since December, I believe. That was the last time. So I'm glad I was able to keep my hair. I'm planning to grow it even longer, just because I'm digging the wild mullet look. I mean, every streamer that I know has, at least that are somewhat successful, usually have very long hair. You got Asmongold, Charlie, Moist Critical, even an Extend Markiplier. His hair goes all the way down to his shoulder. Even Jacksepticeye, I believe. So I might as well just start, maybe count my luck with all the... it couldn't hurt. You might as well grow your hair out while you still can, before I get old, right? Imagine a little kid looked up to William Afton before he died, and before he found out he was a killer, but by the time he found out William was a murderer, it was too late, and you made an animatronic. There's nothing wrong with making an animatronic. It's basically, if you murder someone, not just having someone die, you have to literally murder an innocent child. And from what I remember, what was that game's name? Game's title again? It was the visual novel one, which I said was probably the scariest one. It wasn't Day Shift at Freddy's, obviously. It was... Anyways, it's like black and white visual novel. You click here, left and right. You listen for sound. I played it a while back, but Elden Ring made me forget the title. It basically shows William Afton as trying to escape hell, and it turns out that, you know, he killed his first victim was actually his own little puppy. And in other words, if you just killed an adult because he killed his father, it wouldn't work. It has to be children. So it has to be a very specific thing for an animatronics to become, you know, a horror animatronic. So there's that. Monster at the end, security runes took control of them. I didn't finish Ruin though, because I didn't like the puzzle. I found it so tedious, and I really regret playing FNAF as the series without a computer. Playing it with a controller on my PlayStation 5, it ran fine. I didn't mind it, but playing as a controller to me is a mistake. It's really hard and really handicaps you. So a lot of these mascot horrors, I can't imagine myself going back using a controller. The only games that I'm playing right now with controller are usually just button mashers and like Elden Ring, you know, hack and slash. I feel like she was the CDO, it would come up more like we would get an answer or hints. Maybe we'll get some answers next month when the anniversary comes along. We're definitely getting at least, they said at least 7 or 8 or 10 news. So whether it be, and it's from the official FNAF team, I believe. So I'm expecting, I know there's Into the Pit, a 2D pixel art style, which I think is going to be really cool. But I am really looking forward to more open, free roaming, but without being super overly big like Security Breach. Security Breach has a lot of issues, and it wasn't even, to me, in my opinion, wasn't as hard. I struggled with it because I suck at free roaming horror games. You know how it is. But other than that, I mean, if I'm thinking about it right now, it wasn't all that bad. There were some good mechanics and some pretty bad ones that I really didn't like. But if you saw my gameplay of those Nights at Fredbear's, it was a confined space, but not overly large. The animatronics were relentless, and I had trouble with it. But it was very fun. It didn't waste my time, and the atmosphere was very good. And it's a free game. I even made guides on it, 2 guides. So there. Nee? What does that mean, Cherie? Do you mind if I tell you what happens if I get the whole basic ending? Like the ending when you escape the megaplex through the front door in Security Breach? Sure, go ahead. I mean, I tried to... I got a couple of the endings from Security Breach, so I basically just dipped. I knew that there's a bad ending if I just get dipped Freddy. So what happened was Fanny eventually found us anyway. The second one was Freddy sacrificing himself, and we going up there to Vanny's room and had her disassembled. The third one was me going to the back of the Pizzaplex and escape with Freddy. And then the last one, which I thought was supposed to be the best ending, which was going down to that tunnel to the original Fazbear Pizzaplex, or original Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria, and then having William Afton reawakened, and then we escaped again together with Freddy and Gregory. That's the only endings that I got. I got about 3 to 4 hours into Ruin, but we were obviously not playing as Gregory. In fact, Gregory was a voice. We were playing as another girl who I think was a friend of Gregory, and unfortunately there was just, I didn't get through the story, but I definitely know deep down that there's no way that voice is Gregory. The voice basically, in my opinion, tricks her into going down and trying to deactivate some kind of giant animatronic horror. So go ahead and ruin it. But I hope something goes on with that specific part. Me too, Nydia. Me too. I really do hope so as well. Anyways, God, this is turning into a just chatting stream. I apologize. For those of you who are here for maybe watch me play some horror games, I know hopefully I'm not disappointing you. It's just that, you know, I would, if you guys can actually, it would mean, I don't mean to make you guys didn't make the chat disappear though. But at least I'm gonna be honest, chatting with you guys has always been the most fun when it comes to streaming. Not the games. This includes Elden Ring. Well, except when I was playing the bosses. Maybe if you guys want to make a bet with me, so if you guys are here for Elden Ring, maybe I can make another bet. I don't think I can beat Melania tomorrow, and I certainly cannot beat her in 10 tries. However, I will eventually beat her, but I will beat her on stream. I would never beat a boss off stream. So when I figure Millennia out, I'll let everyone knows. After Millennia, I'm planning to go to the DLC and see how far I can go. I want to beat all the toughest bosses on stream for you guys, so without using any sort of cheese. And right now, it is just me collecting some armors and equipment, because to me, it's just not fair. Because if I get hit once, I'm pretty much dead. To me, that is just not fair. You want me to do a no-hit run on one of the hardest boss in Souls history? I may be decent at action hack and slash, but there's no way I'm crazy enough to do something like that. I'm not about to put thousands of hours into it just to prove a point, just so I can beat Millennia. I know I can beat her. She is beatable. I'm sure plenty of people has done that, but I can't do it with the current gear that I had on my last stream. No need to just vibing. No worries, Nydia. Thanks. So you escape after finding Gregory. You go up the shift, but something knocks the shift down and it starts falling. So by that, I'm guessing that you mean the ending, right? When you say Gregory, pretty much confirms it. I did not. I do not. Gregory. That's not the real Gregory. In other words. Hello, top of the list. Am I from China, you're saying? Yes, I am. I am from China. I moved here when I was 8. Feel free to ask me any questions as long as it's not too personal, like my social security number or my bank account. And again, I'm sorry guys why multi-chat is not working. Today, not only Twitch doesn't show up, but not only does YouTube not show up, but Twitch doesn't show up either. So I apologize about that. This is why I have not played a game right now, because I want to focus just on you guys. So I apologize. Hey Wolf, welcome. Good to see you. It was the mimic the whole time. So it was a clone of Gregory or a mimic of Gregory? Is that what you're saying? Outside is saying you should get the bold gold armor. I'm guessing that's probably the armor with the highest defense. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I've gotten a few armors that are very high defense. However, my playstyle, I really don't like being like a super slow build. I'll get into it. Did you ever see the graveyard shift? If so, how'd you like it? I've not got to the graveyard shift yet. I was planning on streaming FNAF 3 Reborn, or excuse me, not FNAF Reborn. It was FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's in real time, but it says that I need to buy that game, and you know, I need to buy the original Five Nights at Freddy's on Steam, which I'm not gonna do that. Otherwise, I can't play it. Plus, it says a demo for some reason. I don't know. It was an endoskeleton with the ability to mimic voices and fit into any suit. Why would it need to be an endoskeleton for a voice? I mean, you just use AI, right? That's kind of funny, Nadia. Have you tried the DLC yet? I have. I actually got to the Realm of Shadows, and I was getting my ass kicked. I got everyone, and I mean everyone, was 1 to 2 shotting me. And I got so frustrated with that, but it was really, really fun. The one thing I love about Elden Ring is being able to go from place to place to a place that I'm not supposed to go yet. And, you know, and being extremely underleveled, running away from them and trying to find graces. So as of right now, yes, I have gone to the Land of Shadow, and I have gotten all of the, or at least I have unlocked everything on the map. At least got the map for the whole entire region. So yes, even through the abyssal woods and stuff, there's still one area that I cannot access. But I think that's the room where the DLC boss is. He's like red with a lance, with a snake. He's like the poster child for that game, for Shadow of the Erdtree. He's going to be in that room. I have not accessed him because I want to do it live. But other than that, all the bosses that I beat around there are usually smaller bosses, like that big giant stupid hippo, and a couple of like the dragon warrior boss. These are mini bosses. What else? Some kind of summoning boss you have to beat. Injuncture that I beat, and that was pretty much it. I've not beaten any of the real story bosses. All right, top of the list. Saw a poll from 2017 that says 71% of Chinese people had an unfavorable view on South Korean influence. This struck me as weird since most Chinese people are low-key Korea boos. Maybe there's some context I'm missing, and I was hoping for some insight. Interesting topic, but I don't mind getting into it. Well, first of all, I'm considering myself more American than Chinese because I've been living here since I was 8. So I'm way more influenced in the American culture than when I was Chinese. I mean, I barely remember when I was anything back when I was like 3, 4, 5 years old, okay? However, I can give you a little bit more of my opinion on why, and that, yes, you are correct. Us Chinese people, well, I'm American now, so the Chinese people culture, we do not have very favorable opinions on South Korean, or rather Koreans. This is just as much as we don't have, we never had a big opinions on, favorable opinions on Japanese people. If you don't know the history, that's basically during World War II. Okay, that's why. This is why when I came here, people are, in my opinion, I mean, you guys, people get the same, like, people can be racist to each other. Please, if you ever go to China, we can be easily the most racist people. We are even racist towards ourselves. So if you don't know, I'm from China, and I was born in the southern part of China. I'm very close to the area or the region, the southern province called Guangxi, and it's in that subtropical climates of where I'm very close to Thailand and Vietnam. So rice noodles, lots of fruits and whatever. The thing with the south is that we're considered poor, in which we were. And over there is also, compared to a place like Shanghai or even Beijing, where that's where more of the wealthy people are, northeast, or whatever. Those people are considered also considered a little bit taller. Where I'm comparing Guangxi in my region, most average men are usually around 5'5", 5'6". I'm 5'10", so I'm considered a little bit above average. When I moved to Shanghai, though, I was actually on the average to lower average side, because Shanghainese, and I've seen people from Beijing, they're usually like at least around 6 foot, usually, but they're like lankier. I'm a little bit on the buffer side, so I got bullied quite a bit from moving from the south to the north. So there's a story for that. So if that gives you any insights, that's what it is. Now, if you ask me why Chinese people have low opinions on Koreans, you're gonna have to ask someone else, because the only thing I learned about is the Japanese. But that doesn't. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised that on average, the people from Korea doesn't have China doesn't have a high opinion of other people from other countries. Hell, right now, a lot of people don't have a high opinion of America. When I call my friends and family back in China, we usually don't speak as much anymore because tension can flare up. They criticize our government, we criticize theirs. And the thing is that I don't want to get doxxed, because the Chinese government is always listening. And the only thing I really say to them is like, hey, hello, how are you? Hope everything is doing well. And that's it. Yeah, I only knew about the Japanese bit too. That's why I was confused. Korea was colonized by Japan and China, but I don't think Korea ever did colonizing. It doesn't matter. The big three, China, Japan, and Korea, we both have a it's kind of like a hate rivalry thing. I'm just gonna tell you right now, as a kid, I was always afraid of Japanese people, because there was always these commercials that were playing in the background. You know, when I was watching Power Rangers or Pokemon, all these. Yeah, so I don't remember any of the commercials, but I've always been afraid of Japanese people, always. And that was when I was a kid. So it's easily you can twist it when you're an adult and turn it into that, that fear into hate. It's a good thing that I left before I learned more about it. So when I went to the U.S., I still remember meeting like some Japanese people, and I was like, oh God, I'm not so sure if I should associate with them. Until, of course, I actually talked to them. But then again, they're actually really, really nice people. I love the Japanese culture. I love Japan as a country. It is probably the country that I want to visit the most. And then, of course, when I came here, well, in China, I left China when it was 1998. That was before all the big giant explosion of the economy exploded, okay? So when I went to school, I still walked, and the road was like dirt. And people were still on bikes. They didn't have cars or anything that you see as of right now. So it was very underdeveloped as of right now. I left right when it was starting to develop. So that's that. Anyways, so when I came here, obviously I saw people with blonde hair, blue eyes. I saw obviously African Americans. I saw Hispanics, which is just my eyes were wide open. It was like a completely different world to me. Understand that we were very isolated at that time, and so right now, I think China is trying to do the same thing, trying to be a little bit more isolationist, to be more on the patriotic side. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, hope that answers your question. You know, that you can get some insights on me. Hey, Untamed, what's going on? Welcome. Right now, I don't know why, but multi-chat is not working today, so both YouTube and Twitch is not showing up, which is why instead of playing a game, I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk. And as you can see, my energy is back. Sorry about that. Anyways, back to YouTube. Let's see. Did you get a lot of sleep? Does I care for my health? Yeah, I did. I got plenty of sleep. My eyes are still a little bit tired because I got up around 3 or 4 o'clock today, but it was fine. I went to sleep a little bit early. Usually I only sleep about 5 to 6 hours anyway, but it did mess with my sleep schedule. Just realized the Mimic is Enard just as a new person because they can both use different people's voice and fit into any suits. This is where I find these theories all really confusing. The best kind of stories, in my opinions, are just simple ones. And the best, because have you ever heard of a story that's overly convoluted? Yeah, those usually don't make very good stories. The best kind of stories are very simple because the plot is simple. What you want in complication is not the story itself, but more of the characters. This is the problem I have a lot, and I think a lot of people misunderstand, is that you want complex characters, characters with depth, but you don't want the plot to be overly complex because that's just confusing, you know? 16 hours. That's nice, Wolf. What about the never-ending story? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure security. I'm curious on what Steel Wolf Studio is gonna do with the next one, because Security Breach 1 and 2, fine, they were good games, but at the same time, it was just a bunch of mini games and a remake VR edition of whatever FNAF of the original FNAF. Great, I think it's wonderful. However, after that, what of it? 1 is the original. 2 included the new characters like Foxy and, you know, Monty and all that stuff. But other than that, I mean, Security Breach was really the main thing. Was really like the big giant departure, at least from what I've seen. Everything else before that was just look left, look right, very little movement. Security Breach, free roam, which I thought was fantastic, despite some of its problems. Other than that, to me, they really want to go back to that. If it has to have some sort of restraint, you know. Yeah, Security Breach got you lost, right? Yeah, it got me lost too. The pizzeria was so big that I had trouble, especially in the beginning, and even by the end of the game, I still don't know where to go. It's an old movie, never-ending story. I've never seen that story. Sorry, Untamed. Security Breach, enough. Hello, Alexis. How are you? Good to see you. Originally, I was gonna play a game, but unfortunately, today's multi-chat is not showing up on screen, so I decided to just look it up. In fact, right now, yeah, sure. Never-ending story. Oops. That does not look like a horror game or horror story. It's got good ratings. 83 on Rotten Tomatoes. Follows a boy who finds a magical book that tells of a young warrior who's given the task of stopping the Nothing, a dark force from engulfing the world, I'm guessing. This looks like something from Chronicles of Narnia. But like a Disney's version of whatchamacallit, of Lord of the Rings. It seems like. It really does. That's just... looks like a dragon and a dog had a kid together. I'm not trying to make fun of it. I've just never seen it. I'm sure it's good. It's got a very high rating. But I've never seen this movie. Maybe I should. The never-ending story. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let me know what movie you guys saw. I'll check it out when I have the time. I just know it's my... Yeah, sorry. I don't know why, but YouTube... I put you guys on the YouTube. I put it on... I don't know how much of a delay it is, though. Do a shout out to you or Wolf. I've already shouted out to you already, Alexis. Shout out to Wolf. He's been here. So I've already shouted out to him. Yeah, sorry about the delay. I don't know what it is by YouTube and Twitch. Some people say YouTube is faster. Some people says Twitch is faster. So you should watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I've already seen that movie plenty of times. I love it's a really good movie. I've seen that one. Speaking of stories, I've always been struggling to come up with a proper story for my game. Like I have the plot, but the overall story. Well, I can't really give you any advice, Nadia, because writing is actually one of the things that I'm not exactly good at. Writing good stories. However, if I had to give you what I think is that instead of writing an overall plot, I would say start writing characters. I would rather listen to a story about a person rather than a story about a plot or a setting. You have to engage me in a person or a character first before anything else. This is why when I read books, most of my books that I read are usually about people, autobiographies. Here's a reason. The book that I'm reading right now, Hanging Tough. This is about a World War II veteran. If you don't know who he is, it's Major Winters from Band of Brothers. If you've never seen this, it's one of the best things I ever. It's one of the best things I ever made. Even if you're not a fan of these World War things. Even my mom watched it, and she didn't cry, but I teared up at the stories of some of these people, and it was so well made too, so well shot. It's old, but it's classic. The music is fantastic as well. It's funny where you have Ross from Friends there. I thought he was so out of place, but everyone in this movie, in this 10 episode, did such a good job. It's one of the series that I took a lot of inspiration and grew from, because I was in the military, by the way. YouTube is better. Play half sword after the game. Half sword after. Arthur. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Sword Arthur the game? I don't know what half sword. Is this the game you're talking about? Half sword? Physics-based medieval combat simulator featuring historically accurate 15th century arms and armor. Is that right? Interesting. This looks like a first rendition of it reminds me of like when I did those when I bought into the whole whatchamacallit, PlayStation glowing stick, whatever you call those, and when that time everyone was obsessed with the Wii U or excuse me, the Wii controller, hand motion games. That was fun. Right now it's all about VR though. I don't think these things will stay. Get the demo. I'll think about it. How much is this, by the way? Download the demo. Coming soon. This will be interesting. But it's on the PlayStation controller. Well, first of all, ooh. If they can turn it into a Jedi, if they can turn this into lightsaber fight, I'm all in. This actually does look pretty cool. But like I said, until I actually play it, and this would probably be better in VR. Man, can you imagine if I actually can do lightsaber fights in real time? That would be awesome. Huh. All right, I'll add it to the list then. The characters I've been trying to make big part of the making the overall. I have been trying to make a big part of making the overall story, Nydia. Well, the thing is, you gotta write about a character, and why that character is interesting, you know? In order to write a character, I don't think anything in this world is original. Every fictional character is probably derived from something else. We always learn from something else. So if you want to write a character, it's probably better if you take inspiration from other characters and then say, okay, this is what I like about so and so. I'm gonna put some of that person's personality and backstory into here, and then I mix it with the other ones. And then that's where you have to use your imagination to grow that character, where that character goes here and there. And as long as you make that character complex, but at the same time, you know, with depth. I like simple characters, but with depth. And that's what I can say. The kind of story I would like to come up with is one that flushes out the main villain and overall setting. Well, it depends. Is the villain the protagonist or just the antagonist? And you know, what are you coming from with that one? Because that's a very broad term you're asking right here. Feel free to share it. I mean, I'm not gonna make fun if you write depending on what you write. Hey, geez, thanks for the $2. I did not expect the a donation from a just chatting stream. Thanks for the $2. Dark and darker. All right, let me see. Another medieval game? Oh, jeez. Whatever. Another medieval game. This reminds me of Elder Scrolls. A lot. Yeah, it is a lot of like Elder Scrolls, but more physics-based, I guess. There's a reason I try to stay away from Elder Scrolls or any of these other games. One is that I never liked, I never liked Bethesda's gameplay style. There's a reason, that's one big reason. But two, as you guys can see from Elden Ring, if I get addicted to these games, it's a big problem because it's gonna take a lot of my energy and hours away. As you can see what Elden Ring did to me. It almost got me into a crash because I was so I was so into it. Mostly positive. Alright, what is it? Unforgiving hardcore fantasy first person. Well, it's not a shooter, isn't it? PvPvE. Okay, versus environment versus player adventure. Band together with your friends and use your courage, wit, and cunning to uncover mythical treasures and defeat gruesome monsters while staying one step ahead of the other devious treasures. Interesting. Yeah, as I said, it's pretty much kind of like Dragons and Dungeons, but with kind of a reminds me a bit of RuneScape as well. Yeah, it's like Elden Ring. Yep, exactly. Alexis. Anyways, Nadia is saying the antagonist. Well, let's name some of the antagonists, right? So, we'll start with Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll get to you in a bit, Untamed. I see ya. So just list off a bunch of antagonists that you think that you like in a lot of movies. So maybe some of the ones that I start with FNAF. So William Afton. I don't think there's too much depth to William Afton, but he's very simple. In which, in my opinion, simple is good. So he's just a psychopath who's very jealous of, you know, of the success his friend or business partner had, and he became a psychopath. Very, very simple. He doesn't have that much depth, but he's very simple. Now, if you want characters that are antagonists but evil, I would say probably look up Monster. His name is Johann Liebert. Yeah, this is a very famous anime antagonist, one of the most evil, messed up characters ever. So just list off a bunch of characters, what you like and don't like about them, and then that'll give you some kind of blueprints. Don't copy and paste, but give you some kind of inspiration, some kind of, you know, grid. It gives you something a little bit to work on, and then gets your creative juice flowing, and then you can go from there. That's just my opinion. This is something I like to do for a villain, but that's envious and completely monstrous. There's plenty of that. In this one, I wouldn't say Johan is envious. I mean, there's plenty of 7 deadly sins. Envious or lust, greed, you know, gluttonous, all that stuff. Heck, Full Metal Alchemist, plenty of good antagonists in there. I mean, their names of, you know, pride. All these are antagonists. And then it's even really good if you can actually understand the maybe even sympathize with the antagonist. So yeah, no worries, Nydia. There's something. Multiplayer. Are you gonna stream about Half Sword? Holy yapping. maybe. You just gotta understand that I only bought all these games because it was on sale. I bought Elden Ring because it was on sale, and that was $70. That's a lot of money to me as of right now because I'm still broke. I did make a little bit of money off real estate, but so right now for me to spend even like $3 to $5 is something I was like, well, unless it's a game that I'm really into, or I think I'll make an interesting stream. Plus, I got Black Myth Wukong I have to buy for $60 next month. So I gotta keep my wallet in check. So I know you guys donate, which I love. I appreciate it so much. But at the same time, you gotta understand YouTube rules is that I can't collect donations until I reach the $100, which right now I'm obviously not there yet. You wouldn't like they can like, but make them understandable in a way. There's way too many bad guys to name if that are like that. Pick a number 1 to 3. I like 3. There you go, Untamed. If that was your question, you know, maybe like sympathy is like, why did they turn evil or try to make evil decisions, and why was Johan so evil? And after you learn his story, you wouldn't sympathize for this guy, but you certainly understand what a part of, like, oh, you kind of understand that he's just trying to search for something. It's really sad. Holy yapper. I'm telling you right now, I'm a expert yapper. You could give me any sort of topic, I could at least talk about any topic for about 15 minutes or so, depending on the topic, and I can veer off easily. This is why this is probably why I might be overconfident right here, but I think I'm at least a decent streamer on the basis that I can chat my ass off. In fact, I told you guys before that I prefer chatting over playing games, you know. Talk about FNAF lore, like all of it. Well, if you want a in-depth lore, you probably would just go and watch MatPack. I've seen just one of his videos, but all I can say is that I understand only maybe about 30 to 40%. I did not go all into FNAF. Unfortunately, I think FNAF is very on the simple side, which to me is okay, and it needs to stay simple. However, right now the plot has become so convoluted, and even to the point where I say that it's being dragged out for the sake of money. Sequel-nitis, kind of like what Marvel did. I really like the first Iron Man movie and then the first Avengers movie, and they just kept dragging it out and out to the point where I'd never even watched any sort of I don't even watch any of the Marvel stuff now. Just saying. You said you know it, noob yapper. Is that right? Well, like I said, if you guys want to do streaming, you guys should be you guys should be able to at least talk about any sort of topic. Now, if you bring up a very controversial topic, politics and all that stuff, then yeah, I would just easily just tell you guys, say, I'm sorry, I can't talk about that. It's too controversial. Even though if you bring that topic with me in person, and I can easily talk politics and controversial stuff with my friends in real life. I have no problem with that. However, online, you gotta realize I wouldn't say keep everything clean, but I gotta keep the drama at least to a minimum. The last thing I want is I don't really want to become a political channel, and I certainly don't really want to become a commentary channel on things. This is where things like Muda and Moist Critical, these guys are much better at chatting about random the newest YouTube drama. I'm sure it gets views, which is fine. However, after so many videos and stuff, I decided that it is better for me to just stick to gaming and just making stupid videos. And I'll I'll go into depth in a little bit after I say hello to Sleep. Hello, Sleep. How are you? Good to see you. I'm sorry. I was supposed to play FNAF tonight. However, unfortunately, multi-chat is not working, so I decided to just chat away. This is why both YouTube and Twitch is not showing up. But I can see all of your chat, so I apologize about that. I'm not looking for originality. I'm looking for a story that I'm happy with, and I'm sure I will eventually come up with that story. Nedia, there is no originality in my opinion. Every giant or every interesting character took inspiration, at least fictionally, took some kind of inspiration from something else. I mean, I'm sure you guys heard about Naruto, right? You guys probably know what Naruto is. Well, Naruto was inspired. If one of the characters, Sasuke, I believe, is pretty much inspired by one of my other favorite characters, Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, even the author admitted it. I'm sure One Piece took a lot inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho and other pieces as well. Same thing, but Yu Yu Hakusho probably took inspiration from old shonen mangas. So there's no reason about it. What's the topic today? It's just random stuff, Sleep. We went from talking about FNAF to some guy from Twitch asking me about my opinions on Chinese people being not very nice to Koreans, and then to just books, and Nedia on YouTube right now asking me about, he or she is trying to ask me or asking me my opinions on what is it to write an interesting antagonist. I just gave her my thoughts, but topics can be whatever. So this is what I love about just chatting. Imagine if I had a kitchen right here. I would just cook and talk to you guys at the same time. That's what I really love. Sorry, Nadia. Did you know Markiplier talked about you? Markiplier talked about me? I'm such a small dude, I'm minuscule, and he's such a big giant influencer. Why, unless I get super lucky, what did he say? I would be honored if he talked about me. That'd be cool, because Mark is someone that I feel like he's such a good guy. I don't have anything negative to say about him, but I would love to meet him just to have a chat on what he's like. He also has a Korean mother, I believe, and I'm sure he has a very interesting life. I didn't do too much research on him, obviously, but in fact, I heard of him, but I've never even watched his videos. I hope he doesn't take offense to that before I started streaming. It was actually when you guys, the chat, first came along and says, why do it's either my voice or my tone, the tone of my stream reminds them of Markiplier. It's like, huh, is that right? And then I looked into some of his videos, like, he plays horror games. Then I was like, okay, maybe I give it off that a little bit. Plus, he's also Asian, half Asian. So he's a mix. I'm kind of jealous, because that means he can actually grow good facial hair. I could never have a mustache or a giant beard. I've always wanted it, but baby face suits me. I tried growing it out, and the only thing I could do was like a small little goatee. It was not good looking. It was not good. Used to watch so much Markiplier. Why not keep watching? I still say maybe people grow out of his stuff, but I still say Mark is a good guy. I think he makes good. He has an amazing voice. I'm very jealous of his voice, envious, I would say. But he's just, yeah. I would say that I didn't watch his old stuff, but as of right now, he seems to be a lot calmer, and he's still funny as hell. Especially, I really like his editor as well, Lixian. Great guy, really good guy. And I apologize about the ads, guys, because I put it on conservative. And if you're getting a lot of ads, please don't blame me, because I did not put it on like every 5 minutes. I don't get to decide. I put it as conservative as possible. So yeah, so why you know all I need is something that's really easy to understand and fits. Well, this is why your character should start out simple. If you start out with a character that is very simple, then you can actually morph him into any shape or form you want. But you have to start out simple, okay? And then if you want to turn into the antagonist, you have to make readers or viewers understand why this person went that way. William Afton, though, unfortunately, it's just, he's very simple. He's a psychopath from, you know, from the day that he was born. Says that he's a loner and he killed his dog, if that is canon. But other than that, I mean, he's just born that way. Some people are just born psychopaths, born killers. And you know what? That's okay. If you want someone to, like, maybe sympathize or at least understand that way, I mean, it's really, really hard to make me, you know, sympathize with William Afton, to be honest. His AO Oni playthrough is so classic. I don't know what that is, though. I do know some of the memes that he did, which is the meow video. I remember watching those videos. I thought, this guy's kind of funny. But then again, that was it. I never watched any horror games because you gotta remember, guys, I never touched anything that was horror before streaming. So I never watched him. I knew that, like PewDiePie, he got big when he played horror games with FNAF, just like PewDiePie did with, what is it? Amnesia: The Dark Descent. So that's it. It's like a pixel horror game. I see. Yeah, I don't mind horror, though. The key catch is your friends are not money, and so don't waste them. Yeah, of course. I agree with that, Alexis. I never saw my friends as cash cows. Well, they're not exactly poor. My friends are not exactly poor, but they're not well off. I don't have a friend that is a millionaire or anything. I have some ambitious friends, but they're all just middle class. Yeah, very, very middle class, just like me. No one, I don't think any of my friends became famous, not that I know of. But even if they do, it's not like I would treat them any different. And you know, I wouldn't want to do that. For some context, my game will take place in a completely different world, with the main monster being a giant spider human hybrid. So that right there is already a little bit on the confusing side, Nedia, because you're basically describing two things at once. You know, you've described your character and the world. Like I said, in my opinion, you have to start out simple. So, but this is just my take on it, right? Whenever I look into a media, whether it's a book or an anime, a game, a movie, or any sort of entertainment, something has to hook me immediately. It's either the music, the art style, or the characters. So if you're going for one of those three things, then go for it. But it has to be within like the first 5 or 10 minutes. So, you know, takes any of my, some of the most classic ones are, for me, it's mostly music. Very rarely do I get attached to a character just like that. Unless it's a book, I guess. It's hard to hook me with a show or TV because you're watching someone, so you're a little bit more you're a little bit lenient. You're a little bit more lenient with the time, because, you know, I guess the best way to describe it is like Game of Thrones, but that's not how it works, because I read the books before I seen Game of Thrones. I actually know the characters, so I didn't watch the show until season 3 though, because I didn't think the show was going to be that good, and I kind of did, but I didn't watch until season 3 because I didn't want that feeling of like, oh man, this show is so good, I have to wait, you know, so and so X amount of time, and that's it. It's the same reason that I didn't really watch any of these new animes, because I get so sucked into it that I haven't had to put everything on hold and complete it in one go. This is what that's the main reason, I would say. Check out the Truman Show, please. Yeah, I heard that show. I already know that show. I've already seen it. This concept's definitely opened up several doors of ideas. Yeah, just keep it simple, man. Just keep it simple, Nydia. You never know. It also depends whether your antagonist also becomes a good guy in the end, or is it more like a good guy becoming a bad guy? The character has to evolve somehow, or does the character get to live, or something? But right now you're saying that it takes placed in a completely different world. Okay, no problem. How does that world work? Is it humans or humanoids? And then the main monster being a giant spider-human hybrid. So Spider-Man, but more creepy side, on the creepier side. If you're talking about if Spider-Man was evil. I have not. No, Alexis, I have not. I have not streamed about Proctor Zomboid. No. Well, is that and a bunch of very twisted looking monsters inhabits this world? Well, that depends on the world then. Is it a human world or is it more of a magical world, another dimension where it's kind of the norm? Too many questions for you to just type in the chat though. Yeah, you heard me, Alexis. Sorry. Like I said, I'm very picky with the games, and I really enjoyed these indie games, indie horror games, you know, because they're quick. Usually I finish them within 1 or 2 streams, like a backroom type deal. Into the backroom, that kind of concept. I see. Yeah, kind of same thing like with content warning and what was that game again? Jeez, that I played with Wolf and Joe. Don't remember the game. Phasmophobia, I guess. Anyways, but yeah, this is the kind of stream that I really love, and I think I'm really good at. Kind of like a late night show talking, but a little bit more calm. And the topic is really depending on the day and the time and whatever subject you guys want me to talk about. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. Good afternoon, good evening, and even good night. Makes sense. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry about tonight, guys. It was another just chatting stream, but hey, at least it was compared to yesterday, which I was looking like famished. I went back and checked it out. I checked out the stream. I was like, man, it looked like I'm dead. I'm half dead, barely. I was either I looked like I'm drugged out on Adderall or something. And yes, as soon as the stream ended, I went to brush my teeth and I just passed out. Woke up around 3 o'clock or something like that. So today I stayed up. Obviously I had to stay up a little bit more. Yeah, laugh it up, Lexus. It is what it is though. But this is the kind of stream that I want to do. And this is the kind of stream that I really I look like I was drunk. That's funny because if I was drinking, you would know. I have the Asian glow. If you don't know what that is, it's basically if I drink any sort of alcohol, my body has a hard time processing it. So my skin and especially my face becomes very red. And another part of it is that I also get really itchy. I get red on 2 or 3 sips of beer. That's how bad I am. So I don't drink, but the main reason I don't drink is because, well, 2 reasons. I don't like the taste of alcohol because it's bitter, and 2, it costs a lot of money. Yeah, I was so tired yesterday. You looked so over it. Sleep. Yes, the red face. Yeah. Asians, we can drink our ass off. If you want to ask me when I took my first drink, it was actually when I was little in China. If you know anything about Asian culture, there's something called the drink culture, because it's also drinking with your coworkers is also part of the. It's a big establishment in the Asian workplace. So I remember when I moved to Shanghai, my mom actually had to go to a work drink place because in order to get promoted and associate with others, you have to go to these drinking parties after work. I went with my mom because she couldn't leave me alone at work. I remember my mom getting so hammered she was either on the brink of passing out or pretty much just passed out. So they were still forcing her to drink, and I can see that she didn't want to. So I stepped up and took a shot. I don't know, it wasn't vodka. It was called Baijiu. Basically distilled white vinegar. It tasted awful. I'm pretty sure it's almost like what gasoline tastes like. It wasn't a shot. It was a glass. And it got me hammered. That was my first drink ever. Yes, I was underage, and I drank underage. It was in China though. After that, my all the coworkers kind of cheers like, "Oh, you're gonna take one for your mom. Cool." And then afterwards, I remember that my mom had to take me home. and I threw up as I was going in the taxi. I threw up outside the window, of course. And that's my first memory of ever drinking. I didn't like drinking at all. I did drink in college, and then before college as well, when I just turned 18 and stuff. It was just crappy beer. No, you know, those natty lights or whatever. I just didn't like it. I rarely drink just because I don't like the taste. But that was one of my stories from my childhood. Hey, you're Asian too. Welcome, Warp. How are you? Welcome. Who would win a Lego brick? What, Lego brick or William Afton? I would hope a Lego brick, because I would find the Lego brick to be has more heart than William Afton. Let's see. As for how many characters will end up the stories, I'm not really entirely sure. I will base the future of this game off how well it does. Is that right? Well, you do you, Nydia, and good luck to you. Strongest beer ever? Trust me, in Asia, like the Qingdao, and all those Asian beers like Sapporo, in my opinion, they're a lot stronger than, say, your average Bud Light or Miller Lite here. I know Budweiser is actually a pretty strong beer, but most of my friends, they drink Heineken. Don't drink, by the way, guys. I'm not promoting any sort of alcoholic beverages. The only time I would drink is probably cocktails. And by cocktail, I mean cranberry juice, well, or rather it's called Cape Cod. So cranberry juice with a shot of vodka. That's the only thing I could drink. It's because I can't taste the alcohol. Either that or Tom Collins, which is basically lemon juice with soda, and I think it was either gin or something else. Basically Sprite with gin. That's it. Don't get any ideas, by the way. By the way, yeah, 7 people watching. Really, there's that many people just watching me chat. This is how good I am, I guess. Anyways, welcome for those of you who are watching and who are still here. Thanks for coming in. I was supposed to play something like Wolf Says, but unfortunately, Multichat, you're supposed to be here with me on the screen, but it's not working today, so I apologize. There's nothing I can do. Do you get hungover? I've only been hungover twice. I do get hungover. In fact, I get hungover so easily that I usually get the worst hungover. Most people who drinks, in my opinion, are because, well, they like the taste of alcohol, but there's something called buzz. For me personally, I get the buzz for only like a couple minutes. It's where you get that buzz is a pretty good feeling. However, to me, it is not worth it. For me personally, because right after the buzz, I get the biggest headache. It's like someone taking a big giant drum and just slamming it into the back of my head, and every heartbeat that thump, my head that's what it feels like. So to me, drinking, I get the shortest buzz, I get itchy and red, and I get the worst hangover. So to me, that's why another big reason I don't drink. When I go over to my friend's house, I always ask for iced tea or a glass of water. That's why. Understand that it has nothing to do with social pressure or religious thing. I just don't, physically, I can't handle it. Yeah, it raises the blood pressure. Yeah. If you guys want to drink, as long as you're over the age limit and you're drinking reasonably, in a reasonable manner, go ahead. If you'd like to enjoy your drinks, plenty of my friends drink, but they don't go overboard, Will I make to the stories I want to tell this game? I hope you do. I will be playing an idea. Play our Red Dead Redemption 2. I've already played that game. I enjoyed it for what it is. However, I will take a very controversial stance on it, and it's that I didn't really enjoy the gameplay. That's just me. I just didn't like the gameplay all that much. We were playing a Maddie and jumped when you take a picture. Oh, you're talking about Madison? Yeah, to me, Madison really messed me up. Especially VR. In my opinion, VR makes any horror game, cranks up the horror aspect from if it's like a 5, it cranks all the way up to a 12. So Madison, in my opinion, is already a pretty scary game. So if it's like on the computer screen, maybe 8 out of 10 scary for me. So when I played it, I think it goes up to like at least 20 in my opinion. I was so scared You guys don't understand. Because you guys saw it from a screen, but just being there in VR with with the noise and the camera and all that stuff, and my my, I was having cold sweat every time that game was on. In fact, I was getting sweaty and what do you call it? Nervous every time I streamed that game. So I'm just telling you this the truth. I wasn't acting or over exaggerating anything when I got jump scared in that game. It really is that scary. And plus, for me, I don't play that many horror games, so it was ultra effective. Kind of like a fire to a grass Pokemon. It's just how it is. Anyways, yeah. But like I said, I would rather you guys recommend games that are much shorter. Gotta understand that I'm only gonna stream around 1 to 2 hours at night because that's how I like it. I can't do the whole 7-8 hours every single day because one, I think you guys will get bored of me, and I'm not nowhere near that interesting. And for your sanity and mine, of course, I think streaming can sometimes be a little bit too much. Because at the end of the day, guys, if I play Fortnite every single day and stream for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, I don't care what you say, it's not healthy. It's not good for you. You know, that's just, it is what it is. However, if I can turn streaming into something of like a little bit more manageable, but at the same time entertaining, and I can give you guys I can give you guys, you know, some kind of pleasure. Give you guys some kind of pleasure. It sounds wrong, if you know what I mean. If I can give you guys some kind of entertainment value, and if I only do 1 to 2 hour streams, I have the energy for it, then I think that would be worth it. You know, I'm gonna get bored. Thanks for saying so. But yeah, that's what I would love to do. Is you know, if you guys come every single night, or whatever you are, use me as a background noise. Lay whatever issues or give me any sort of topic you want. I'll give you my opinion as long as they're not too controversial. And it's like a big family, or rather like your friends who you can count on, and just have a good time, chill, and just chat. Isn't that what it's all about? Right? I think to me, if I'm gonna watch a streamer, that's what I would tune in to watch or hear. Because in my opinion, I still don't find watching other people playing games for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours all that entertaining. For me, I want to see the highlights. But when it comes to a show where it's just me chatting, then I think I don't mind having it as a background noise. So this goes back to the concept of making my own food, right? You gotta taste your own food. Your palate or the food that you make. No matter how good it is, it will never cater to anybody. So maybe this goes to you a little bit, Nedia, and it's that you should write for yourself. I give you my opinion, my take, but at the end of the day, you have to please yourself. You can't please other people's palate. And if I personally don't like your story, that's okay. That doesn't mean it's bad. But if you liked it, and I'm sure that people who have your, who has your taste will like it. If you write something like a horror story, then maybe I can't give too much commentary on that because I'm no horror expert. Show us my history. I don't know why you want to see my history, Alexis, but if you're talking about my Google search history, it's really not all that bad. There you go. Oops. Well, this is an incognito. If you guys ever see my search history, it's actually not that bad, at least not on this computer. I use this computer purely for YouTube and video editing. I still got a bunch of videos I need to make though, because I got to make the schedule tomorrow. So, anyways. All right, Alexis, you can stop spamming now. That's the only thing I ask you guys don't do. Feel free to ask me any questions or type any comments, but don't spam. It's always been a priority to make what I want and what I like. That's exactly how you should do it. Don't make it for anyone else. You make it for yourself. But at the same time, it is also a lot of pressure on yourself because you have to be your own worst critic. All right, you have to be your own worst critic. Because when I tried to make my own sauces and all that stuff, it could be tasty today, and the next day it could be complete crap. And you just gotta keep refining. you're basically kicking yourself down while also picking yourself up at the same time. You either keep doing it, keep improving it. You can take other people's feedback, but ultimately it's your decision. Yeah. If you like your art, it's so unlikely that others won't. So that's what I always say. Agreed. I agree. Because at least you'll get one happy customer, which is yourself. And that's what it's all about, right? You gotta at least make at least one person happy. God, I gotta change the title of this stream from FNAF Reborn to just me chatting again. Sorry about that. Anyways, all right, guys. I think that's gonna be it. I hope you guys have at least had a decent fun during this stream. This is what I like to do every single night. And tomorrow we might go back to FNAF. We might go back to, we might go back to Elden Ring if I can get the boss right. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night then. All right? Have a good night or evening.